So my look today is really a vibe. I didn't know the consequences of doing such a heavy eyeshadow look, but I'm just gonna sit far away from all of you and we can all pretend that I did blend it properly. Welcome back to my chaotic yet peaceful channel. Kate commented that a while ago and I really liked her comment. I hope that she doesn't mind that I use it. I don't know if she still watches my stuff, but thank you, Kate. So yeah, let's get into me answering your assumptions about me. I assume that you speak at least 3 languages or are at least trying to learn multiple languages. I speak English, duh. I speak Romanian, both my parents are Romanian. And I also grew up in Thailand, so I speak conversational Thai pretty well and I understand Thai pretty well. You probably like to eat corn. Who doesn't like to eat corn? Like, are there some people out there who are corn haters? You want more views because you think it would make you less insecure. I decided that this year, no matter what, I would post a video once every 2 weeks, no matter how many views I'm getting, because this is what I like doing. I like editing, I like creating, I like crafting. So as long as there is 2 people who watch the video, it's fine. Even if there's no one watching the video, like I've just started doing it and I feel like I'm really enjoying doing it. So like, why would I stop it if I'm enjoying it? Why does it matter what other people think? You think you're really bad at math, but you're actually pretty good. So like, my relationship with math is a really love-hate relationship. So I did have a biology major in uni, and I feel like to do anything in science, you need to know some sort of math, which is at a slightly more advanced level, but not the most advanced level. And I took a bunch of math classes in high school. Like I had math classes all the time. I feel like only in the recent years I've started to be a bit more comfortable in my math ability and admitting that I can't do math that well in my head. But if someone explains it to me or I'm listening to something and I write it down and I try to work it out on a piece of paper, like, yeah, I think I can do it. You have a little tub of scented candles somewhere. I'm not sure why I assume that about you, but I know in my heart that it's true. Okay, Violet, I hate to disappoint you, but this is not true. The only candles I have is this candle that I got as a present and these candles that I made in another video. If you want to check it out, it'll be linked up in the eye. I'm not a big candle person. Actually can get headaches or feel kind of nauseous if there's too many like smells in the air. So I don't mind if I get candles as gifts and if they're not very, very strong like this one, but I wouldn't go out of my way to go and buy candles. Sorry, Violet. I assume that you watch Grey's Anatomy and know how to knit. Sandia, I hate to disappoint you, but no, I do not watch Grey's Anatomy, and no, I don't know how to knit. I did watch a couple episodes of Grey's Anatomy, and I found them quite boring. Just the vibe of the show, just a little overly dramatic. And my only experience with knitting was in high school. I took an after-school activity thing where you could learn how to crochet and knit. I have the patience for a lot of things, because I do paint and do crafts and things, but I did not have the patience for crocheting and knitting. I felt that it was just so hard. I would get knots in my string. Like I would just be there like, one of my friends was like, oh my God, Deanna, just like calm down. It's gonna be okay. But I am pretty good at cross stitching or maybe sewing a couple of things. Amanda says, you live in South Africa. And Lazy Sloth also said, I have a question. Do you live in Texas? I live in Adelaide. I have just kind of a standard Americanized accent, but if you know kids who grew up in an international environment or went to international schools, most of us do have a standardized American Canadian accent, or some of them just go completely the opposite spectrum and have a British accent, like if they went to a more British-based school. And Amanda also said, you shock people with your many talents. I'd say shock is a pretty like strong word. Do I surprise people sometimes that I do have talents that they might not know about? Sure. I mean, I guess you're right. All through like school, I did a lot of things and still can do a lot of things. Like I'm not like the best at anything, but I can do a little bit of everything. So I feel like that's why people are sometimes surprised or shocked. And I feel like talent is also nothing without hard work. You are both a dog and a cat person because you love animals. You can't choose. I would say that is true, that I can't really pick between being a dog and a cat person. Maybe sometimes I lean more towards having a dog. If I ever end up getting a dog or a cat, then I'll become the dog or the cat person. And I've also always said this to people, I want a dog that acts like a cat or a cat that acts like a dog. Like no other way. You're the type of person that would pull an all-nighter to do an assignment perfectly. I would just like to put it out there that I have never pulled an all-nighter to do an assignment. Like, have I stayed up late to finish an assignment? Sure. I feel like if it got to that point, yes, I would want the assignment to turn out perfectly, but I'd rather honestly just try to talk it out with the professor or the teacher or whatever. But yeah, I also do have a bit of perfectionism in me, which I'm trying to get rid of very slowly. You've seen Friends and liked it at the time, but don't anymore. I have never seen Friends. I've seen certain scenes, certain episodes, and also I don't find the show that funny as people do. You can watch any movie genre as long as you're in the mood for it. This assumption, I think, is pretty true. Oh, no, sorry. No, hang on. I can't watch horror movies. I have gotten actually a bit better at it, and I think that in the future I may be able to watch more horror than I do now, especially if I'm watching with someone. But all the rest of the genres, yeah, like definitely I can watch like all kinds of movies. Because of my degree, I had to watch like all kinds of movies from different eras, like different genres, like independent films, and also like analyze them and comment on them. So yeah, I think I can watch most genres. I'm going to assume that you don't have any pets. Yes, that's true. I don't have any pets. You play multiple instruments. So I play the piano and I also play the cup. You're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. So yeah, I play 2 instruments. Samantha said, you're a closeted lesbian. I am actually straight. Next, you're actually pretty good at drawing. No, I wouldn't consider myself a very good drawer. I can't do proportions. I know very, very basic stuff about shading and where the light hits and all that kind of stuff. I don't particularly like drawing. I like painting. And yeah, fuck drawing. You love spiders. I don't have arachnophobia, so I am not afraid of spiders. And I'm also not afraid of most insects, bugs, critters. Like, I mean, if there is a spider, like a pretty big one, like right next to me now, I might like go like, whoa, that's a spider. But I won't be like, and I do understand sometimes why people have that fear of like animals. Like I had that fear with snakes. Once you get to learn to understand the species, understand their behaviors, understand their traits, and just learn more about them, like you'll become less afraid of them. How I actually got over my fear of snakes. Like I still have a fear of snakes, but how I actually got over it was by actually forcing myself to hold snakes, actually looking at channels that talk about snakes. I honestly would encourage anyone who is afraid of any sort of animal that we might be interacting with on a daily basis to like just try to like become less scared of it if you can. Like I understand if you're very scared of it, but yeah. You're very much into astrology and maybe Greek mythology, and you want a pet rat. No, I'm not very much into astrology. I think astrology is a bunch of crap. For anyone who cares, I am a Sagittarius, but on the new zodiac, I'm not a Sagittarius. I'm the one above it. It's, what is it called? Let me look it up. So whoever wants to give me a reading and tell me what my future is going to look like, please leave a comment down below. Greek mythology. I had a point of time where I was really into Greek mythology. I was really into like ancient Egypt. Like I do like those kind of books, those kind of myths and stories, but yeah, that's all I believe they are, myths and legends and tales. And you want a pet rat? No, I do not want a pet rat at all. I would actually prefer a pet tarantula rather than a pet rat. You like sleeping? I am actually a person who doesn't like sleeping, even though I need like 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night to function. I don't take naps unless I am very tired or very ill or not feeling well. I wish there would be an invention that would allow me to not sleep at all, because I feel like I would get so much more done if I didn't need to sleep. You're a cat person, I've answered that. And you went through gifted kid burnout. What's gifted kid burnout? Gifted kid syndrome is every child who grew up, found themselves amongst other high-achieving students, and failed to adapt. Nope. I don't think I ever went through this. Did I have high marks in school? Sure. I don't think I was necessarily smarter than everyone else in my class. I think I just worked harder. Actually, I was afraid of experiencing this when I got into uni because there was so many other people who were very high achieving. I liked that I had other people to communicate with in university compared to high school, where a lot of people didn't care that much about school. You like gaming? Yes and no. I am not a very big gamer. I won't put a lot of time and effort into a game, even though I have sometimes. On a gaming scale, I'm like a 4 or 5 out of 10. Sometimes I can jump up to a 7 randomly and be like, oh my god, let's game. And then sometimes I can be at like a 2 and be like, nah, I'm not really into it. You eat lots of basic foods like pasta or sandwiches, but you're actually a really good cook. Define basic foods. Pasta or sandwiches. I feel like those sometimes are not very basic. Like, you can make pasta and sandwiches that are pretty complex. I generally eat basic foods because I don't have a lot of time to cook and I don't like spending a lot of time in the kitchen cooking. A lot of people in my family cook really well and my mom is a really good cook. And I grew up with like all types of different cuisines. I'm not a picky eater and I'm not a very basic food kind of person. But yeah, most of the time I guess I eat basic foods because I don't like spending a lot of time cooking. You're not going to grow up to be a cat mom. No, you'll be a bird lady. I think at this point y'all are just trolling me with all these pet things. You either have or want an exotic pet. I am a biologist and I do have that thing of like conserving animals, protecting animals. And I know how like there are breeding programs to save certain species and some people keep certain species as pets and domesticate them like snakes so we can like keep breeding that species. But yeah, I'm not against pets, but I don't think I'm a very big exotic pet person in that sense. You would like to have a variety of houseplants, but are overwhelmed by the commitment. Now that I think about it, I'm not a very big houseplant person, but I'm definitely a very big garden plant person, like having a little space with like plants and flowers outside. I would really like that in the future. I don't think I'm overwhelmed by the commitment. I just don't think I have enough time now to offer that commitment to my plants. All right, so that was all of your assumptions. Thank you so much for leaving an assumption. It still kind of shocks me that you all who are like watching till the end of this video enjoy my content and want to see more things from me and like want to leave assumptions, want to interact with my posts. Like, honestly, that is so nice of you and thank you so much. If you watched all the way to the end, comment down below cup.